Like a plan.
All right, Mark, you want to explain it?
Oh, right. Hey, everybody. This is going to be Mark.
This is John.
And...
Sherry.
Thank God. Jesus, work with me, people. And, of course, the decisions. And today we're going to play a little bit of Old Republic. And we're going to do a little bit more than just play Old Republic. I just wanted to talk about Star Wars as a whole. Be it the, the new games coming out. We got this game that we're playing and messing around with. The whole new movie's coming out soon. And, I just wanted to take some time to talk it out and see what everybody else thought about all of them, get some opinions, get some varying options to it. So, first, I guess we'll talk about what we're doing now. The Old Republic, and this is the very first flashpoint on the Sith side. That's like around level 10 you need to play.
Flashpoint.
Yeah. And you're going to go and do something. Honestly, I've never played this yet, so it's going to be a nice experience for me, too.
I've done all the other stuff, all the Rebel side or Republic.
We've done Republic side, sure, but
I've done neither.
And this
I just started this game about 8 hours ago.
Right.
Gameplay-wise.
And you played nothing. So you'll have a nice, unique perspective from somebody who has no idea what the hell they're doing.
I get MMOs, but never played one, actually. Not anything to this scale.
Right, and this is a good start, too, considering that we just moved to a free-to-play model. Well, I shouldn't say just, it's been that way for a long time now. And you'll get a nice taste of the first dungeon, so... And if you need anything to buy, like stims and shit, talk to that guy, but... I have a feeling we'll need a med pack. And
hide in this
I'm going to... If one of you could summon your companion for a fourth, that'd be awesome.
John Taker.
There you go.
All yours.
Good deal. That way we'll have something. All right. So I guess we'll start talking about Old Republic as a whole. Sherry, you've just started playing this game. God, I fucking hate you sometimes. Why did I ask you to come along? I don't know.
Okay, let me take this back a little bit before you go on your story. I had somebody in high school that really, really was into WoW. Was one of those guys that was enough into WoW that he I'm gonna be a dick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a dick at any point in time. Absolutely.
That he was about to lose his job because of it. Like, he was into WoW. He's like, Matt, you need to play this game.
And you're like, do you? Do I really need to play this game?
He sat me down. Like, I never wanted to buy the game. I really didn't like the idea of subscription then because I was in high school and I was just poor.
Right.
I didn't have any money.
As all poor high school students are, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. And he told me, he's like, you have to play this. So I'm like, fine. He picked some human paladin for it's something. I don't really know what. It was on the Alliance side, I remember that. And he's like, all right, you're going to need to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to need to grab this. And I'm like, where's the first town? And he's like, all right. So he followed me through or led me through how to get to the first town. And then I spent the next hour running around and jumping on people.
Waggling your dick in front of them, or what do you...
And literally, all I did was just jump on people, and a lot of times when you did shit like that, everybody started doing crazy crap, and I did that for about an hour, and then he got mad, and he's like, give me that, let me play, and I went and did something else like I wanted to. So, that's my experience with MMOs.
Wow.
Other than watching a lot of people, I do a lot of watching of people playing. I've never actually sat down and played one.
So you're saying your strategy to MMOs is act like your 2-year-old son until people stop asking you to play MMOs.
Whoa, 2 years old? You mean 24 months?
Oh.
It's close enough.
Regardless, though, so in other words...
Actually, if 2 years old was right, I'm impressed.
You know anything about your friend at all?
Right.
That's good.
No.
That's
God,
right.
no.
Who are you again?
Has a
Not their
spawn.
kids.
Right. But, so in other words, you're saying that your experience in MMOs as a whole has been pretty lackluster and poor. Is that what you're saying?
Not really that. It wasn't lackluster. That was an amazing time.
Yeah, I enjoyed just jumping in front of people.
Not much. I really enjoyed breaking the game for him because he enjoyed it so much that it became kind of a nuisance.
What makes you think I care what you're
Right.
To a lot of other people.
To the loss of people's friendships. Yeah, MMOs are definitely one of those things that you have to take with a sense of moderation, which is very difficult for people to do. And I imagine that when you have a paid subscription model, that you really have to feel like you have to play a lot to get your money's worth, and that kind of sucks people in.
Yeah. I also got really turned off by the animation of everything.
But when was this? Like back in the early 2000s? Like 2004 is when it came out.
So animations, what I didn't like about it is like there's no collision of things. Like I know now, knowing what I know about animation now after going through an animation degree, that they would take a tremendous amount of effort to do. To like you throw an arrow, and when it hits somebody, it sticks to them, and it reacts to them, it bounces off them, or something like that. Instead, it's just kind of a light show. Like you literally walk through people, you shoot an arrow, it goes a certain distance, and then it just kind of it might pass through them a little bit, and then it'll explode. It's something like that. So that really turned me off when I was very early in animation. I'm like, no, it needs to look really nice. MMOs still like this one.
Still don't do it.
The voice acting stuff, there's a huge amount of it, and it's awesome. And I'm really impressed that they did all this. There's still a lot of stuff that, I mean, the physics and the animation and all that is not caught up yet. The technology's not there enough that they can make an MMO in a reasonable amount of time for a reasonable amount of money and make it react to things.
That's true. I mean, this one as a whole, I know that Old Republic cost an outrageous amount of money, like to do all the voice acting to make this thing, and what it was like some astronomical amount. I don't remember what it is, but it was like millions and millions of dollars just to make this whole thing.
That's why people don't make a lot of MMOs anymore.
That's true.
It's a huge risk, and I don't like MMOs are not the style of game that I look at and I'm like, I want to play that because I have a kid, I have a job, I do stuff after my job. I don't have a lot of time, and MMOs take a lot of time.
They do, and especially even more so than if you're doing paid models, like if you're subscribing to do this, it can feel like a waste of fucking money. And sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And I know that John, I know when you started playing this game when it first came out, it was a subscription-based model, and it's changed afterwards. What did you have? What was your experience in this when you actually started playing? Was it worth it?
I mean, it was fine. You know, when I played it with the paid price tag, I was used to playing WoW. You know, so like it was the money wasn't a huge deal for me. The reason that I kind of fell off from it was it was more the time. It was just I simply didn't have the time to play the game as much as I wanted to, so it was hard to justify $15 a month to play it when I'm getting $5 a month probably out of my ooh, God, I want to be.
You guys aren't gonna like.
We're gonna kill these people, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Every answer.
That is absolutely the answer.
Where? Oh, there. They just loaded.
So the issue that was that basically came down to that wasn't getting my money worth. It was fine. Like I don't actually have an issue with the paid subscription model if one, I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. And the game was probably giving me my money's worth. I just didn't have the time to utilize the money's. So I don't know. It was fine. I like that it went free. I like that I can spend essentially the $60 price tag now, and
get the majority of what you need.
Yeah, essentially get to play the game without a subscription model. Like, so I don't know. It's a nice change to it. The only thing that I will say about a subscription model for games, and at least I'm saying this from the standpoint of playing WoW for like 8 years back in the day, with WoW, you at least saw where your money was going. Like, the game clearly changed and evolved, and things were added, and you saw where your money went. So, if, that kept happening with this, it probably would have been fine.
Right.
But it went free. It went free after, like, I think a year on the market.
And that makes sense, because I heard at the end of it, people were wanting for things to actually do in the game.
Yeah, I didn't get to the end game stuff during my paid time, but I heard that there wasn't quite enough there.
Right. Nowadays, I feel like if they had the features that they do now in the game then, it would have been way better. Because now there's guild flagships, there's the whole conquest system, which I've only scratched the surface of it when I started messing around with it. And then there's all the different guild experience and the banks you can do, the strongholds that came out, like everything, man. And I feel like that they would have been much more polished, and they would have had a lot more people stay if they would have had this out beforehand. And sure, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but
but it's there.
But it's all there. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, another thing too is there's a lot of stuff. I mean, an example of the guild flagship. They talked about like a little bit about that, like around the idea of doing it, around the launch of the game. And Guild Flagships came out, I don't know, 6 months ago,
something
maybe?
like that. It was not a long time, or it was a long.
You know,
long time
so
afterwards.
like
It-
they had a lot of great ideas, but they were, I gotta guess, they were on a time crunch.
on
I'm
it.
gonna assume they were probably being pressured by EA or whoever's,
Who's
signing
is
the
doing it.
paycheck. You know, just like any kind of developer, it's like, look, we got to get it out this time, and there's
Yeah.
some sort of reason or behind it, but
They,
Whatever.
I mean, they have a time schedule. Even game makers that take their time, like Blizzard, still have a
yeah.
Take
time
forever.
crunch.
It's just that
They're
Blizzard's
like,
time
"Hey,
crunch is
we
like
need to
forever
release it."
long.
Right, their time crunch is whenever it's
release.
ready. Which is pretty nice.
Blizzard's time
They
crunch is
still
in the
have a
decades,
schedule
not in
that
the
they're trying
years.
to fix.
True that. Oh hey, so we're killing all these people.
also,
I don't remember.
I feel like it's killing people. We're Sith. Cool.
Like, I
care
don't really
if
need
they're other
much
Sith.
reasoning behind
Da,
that.
da, 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 da.
We're taking over the ship.
No, we're gonna join.
But the game's fun. The flashpoints are fun, and the voice acting is amazing. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely out there. I know.
Oh yes.
this
When
game has spoiled me. Like, even when I went back and played WoW, like I fell off the wagon for a month, and I played WoW again, and I was like, oh yeah, this is fun, and I really like WoW. It's it's a great game, and it's well done, and the quests are fun, and blah 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 blah. But I'm like, man, why isn't everyone talking like in the Old Republic? Like, it's the best, like the best addition to MMOs. Like it just. Anytime, and this is slightly biased for voice acting, but like anytime you add a voice or like an actor to a piece, like it really makes it better. Like,
It brings all the characters that are alive as opposed to them being just random ass NPCs.
right? I mean, you kind of have like, okay, like when you read like a book, like a novel, you're like, all right, this is what this character sounds like in my head, and sometimes like,
everybody's British.
It's true. Everybody in
Well-
here is British. Yes.
well, I remember when Penny Arcade made their video game, they did the oh crap, what were they called? Rain Slick Precipice of Darkness. That's a no-brainer, by the way.
All right. Oh,
Oh,
are you just about to cut? Oh,
oh yeah, minus 22.
man,
My,
being a Sith is really shitty. Jesus
it is
Christ.
pretty shitty.
It's fucking awesome.
Look, man, there's no demotion in the Sith Empire. There's just death.
Right. No kidding.
Yeah.
Let's put this behind us.
That's, I know I just murdered him in front
No,
of you, but
that's not what we're choosing.
But
Underneath that mask is an evil black Barbie.
It's true.
yes, a little bit. But so Penny Arcade came out with their game, and I remember they were talking about it, and they decided not to do voice acting because they're like, our comic strips have been out for so long that everybody's idea of what these characters sound like in their head, there's no possible way that we can make everybody happy. You can't even make a small portion of people happy. Like, it's going to be so difficult. And like, that's great. Like, I agree with that. Like, that was the right decision. So, but in this one, it's like, it's a new world. There's no real character. Everyone's you can do whatever you want. So voice it up. Make me care a little bit about these people.
People, yeah.
When I'm a
just love
snarky
worlds.
asshole, let me be a snarky asshole.
I feel also one of the things that I really liked in this too was to immerse you a little bit was all the companions and how that they interact with you, and each of them have their own story, each of them have their own missions that you can just put everything together.
I mean, that's what BioWare does, though. Like,
True.
and that's what was really cool about this too. Is they were like, okay, we're gonna make our story what's kind of like the driving force of this, which is nice from an MMO
I love
standpoint.
M&Ms.
New rapper.
MMO standpoint. Because usually, I mean,
Stance.
it's just a loot grind, and I'm not gonna like try to hide it and say this game isn't a bit of a loot grind as well. But at least while you're grinding that loot, you get to be like, oh, cool, there's some story I can listen to.
Too right. There's other stuff going on. Where are you going?
I don't know. I just started going this
Was
way.
it not
John
the command
followed
deck?
me.
Oh, listen to Sherry was the first.
John, why are you following me?
Oh, I
Sorry.
just watched a
Did we
bunch
just
of our guys
go over
get killed.
this like 3 minutes ago.
Right, so that's kind of nice. And then I think that the whole free-to-play model will definitely support that a little bit easier, too. Like, some people don't give a shit about the loot grind, and they just want to play the story. Like, I kind of am that way, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't mind loot grinding,
shit.
but I certainly want to hear the story. And also, I think that ships,
Poops, dudes.
these pods go bursting through the walls of the starship's pretty awesome, by the way. Shazam.
Dead.
I'm ready for a boss fight so I can actually be a tank for 5 seconds.
But it's Star Wars.
Also, yeah, this game being Star Wars really has my attention because I, for one, love Star Wars. And I guess if we want to move on from this particular game, I just want to ask Sherry once. It's like, now you've played this for a couple of hours. I mean, did you actually enjoy what you're doing?
Sitting in fire? Yes.
No, I'm.
Uh,
It's burning to death. Ah!
It's everything I thought it would
this
be.
is great.
It's third-degree burns and death.
Third-degree burns make my skin soft.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
That's brutal.
It's how you do it. We're Sith, right? But no, overall, like, this is
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Star Wars? Cool. I like how it's, oh god, it actually worked thing. Wrong buttons. Overall, I like the Star Wars stuff. I really like the voice acting. The stuff I don't like are kind of things that I don't particularly look for in games, like just MMO issues in general. It's just like the skill bar about this giant amount of skills. Like it's not that I can't handle the skill bar down here like this. I just don't
Want to handle the skill bar? Is that why you like
I-
things like Diablo a little bit more, where you have like 5 abilities and you just get to go?
It's why I like a lot of Blizzard games, because they simplify it for you, and some people really hate that. Like, I played a shitload of Diablo 2, but I realized back in the day, that was when I was in high school and I had a shitload of time on my hands, and I could just play for 8-10 hours at a time for 3 days straight. It's fine. Now I have a kid. I can't really do that. I get yelled at by my wife, and
It's happened
that's never
before.
good.
It'll happen
It
again.
does happen.
It'll happen
Oh, this
again,
is a
right?
boss?
It'll-
Oh, fuck yeah, it's a boss. All right.
All right, cool. You can tank them. But like the MMO, like it takes a ton of time, especially for me since I make games and I look into like designing games. Making a game easy to learn is huge for me, and it seems really weird, but this game was not. I got MMOs, and I think that's the only reason why I knew what I was doing at all.
Right, I guess
Because
being
I
a
knew what
newcomer,
other MMOs did.
being a newcomer
like,
into this thing.
It was it was just a fucking wall of text. It's all it
Right.
was. A giant wall of text. It's like, here, you should read this Bible, and then you get to play the game.
Become Lord and save yourself off your first kid.
Yeah, I
Get
was
your
not
kidneys.
a huge fan of that part, but overall, like, this is better than I expected it to be.
Good
I'll
deal.
give it that.
So if you continued to play this game and we just fucked around every now and then, would you play with us?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Well, you
Fuck
are. He's
around.
doing it right now.
I know.
so
Well,
it's-
you know, other than that. Hang on, let's get some health back real quick. All right,
we
we're
don't
gonna do this.
record everything we play, clearly.
Good point. Good point. But so, all right, good deal. I'm good. I still enjoy this game a lot. I mean, I like the MMO structures. I like doing MMOs, and the fact that this is free and I can unlock most of what I want to do without having to spend
No.
too much money is.
Yeah,
I could
right.
definitely
Bullshit.
see a game like this or a game like WoW if I had spent the time into it. Fast forward to now, to past me changing something, and now future me would really like it. Like in-game stuff and trying to figure out the ins and outs, like making it a puzzle of how can I do the most damage or the most healing or be the best support, blah blah blah. That's a lot of fun to kind of figure out. But the path to get there is a big turnoff for me because it's just time.
all the time. The time sink. That is
It's
basically
just
how MMOs
time.
operate. There's nothing but time sinks because they need you to keep playing and playing and playing, and that's how they make their money. But
More money.
part of why I enjoy this is because that you can kind of just spend here's a flat and do the majority of what you want to do on your own time, and you don't have to spend any more money. Which is why I think that the free-to-play model really went and helped with the Old Republic as a whole, personally. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people that disagree with me. But you know, whatever. Anyway, let's go do this boss real quick, and then we'll move on to
Woo!
I don't know, the movie or whatever else you feel like.
Now it's
playing.
going right into the boss fight. Like,
Oh god,
what?
did it just
I don't-
teleport? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Sith, is this what you expected it to be?
Yes.
Come on, pay attention
Murdering
to me.
babies and
Don't pay
shit.
attention to
I
shit.
mean, you know, you don't have to play a bad Sith per se.
Yeah.
Wow, we
We're
were
hearing
whooping
about
this
it, yeah.
thing's ass. Holy shit.
There we go.
Alright, hit the 7 button. Do spin
And
circle
you do realize
things.
you can like
Boom.
change
Oh,
what
I
you want to
rearrange
be,
it.
right?
Fat loot.
Medium armor, boo.
Yeah, that's you,
Actually-
Sherry. Enjoy.
Ugh, endurance and cunning. That sucks. That sucks shit.
Sucks for you too.
That sucks for everybody.
Oh yeah, Mark, you got
see.
hurt like hell.
It's minus strength,
yeah, I
a lot
did.
of other stuff.
No, you're probably not gonna use it.
Yeah. I just want damage.
Wasn't paying
That's
attention.
also another thing when I play games, especially at first playthrough.
You do one thing.
I
you
like
do it real
I
well.
like pigeonholing a character and just min-maxing him just because it's simple, it's fun, and I get to learn how the game goes, and I get to learn the weakness of and the strengths of of that, or I find out that hey, this build is broken.
Right. Well,
I should do this all the time.
in an
MMOs,
MMO,
though-
that does not happen. There is no quote-unquote broken build.
Yeah.
If the
There's
developers
some
do
that
their
are better
job,
than
right?
others. Yeah, that's true. I
That's
mean,
the
that's
thing. If
I can think
developers do
of
their job.
occasions where that was not the case, though.
Looking at you,
Dr. Boo.
vanilla shamans, you pricks.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nailed it on the head, Mark. Way to go.
I get it, guys.
Yeah, you don't. It's okay. Shh. Anyway,
It's a shaman.
it's a shaman.
Does
You even,
magics. He's
So-
not part of Star Wars.
So if you're wanting to sit and we're talking Star Wars, I'm gonna go to the new movie now because there was a behind the scenes video because this last weekend was San Diego Comic-Con.
John.
right?
And there
Yeah,
was-
they did something right. I haven't heard about it yet though. So
They
this
did
is-
a behind the scenes video, where it's like this edited up, kind of montagey thing where it's talking to the actors and they sucker you in with the Star Wars themes and your childhood, like warms
Wide
your
eyes.
heart. Right, exactly. But like all that being said, though, like it was actually really cool to watch, and you should absolutely, if you get the opportunity to watch it, do it because what's really kind of neat is they talk about, for lack of better words, what they learned that episodes 1, 2, and 3 did wrong. Like they don't actually say that, but they kind of say that because they talk about how they focused so heavily on keep attacking, hell yeah.
Like, yeah, fuck
So
you, Satya.
heavily on practical effects this time around.
Oh, is that
you
what
know,
the
like-
Being an
old
asshole.
like episode 1, 2, and 3? Is that what we're talking about?
No, episode 1, 2, and 3 focused so much on like digital effects. We're gonna
Right, yeah.
CG fucking everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
But-
kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Right, but in 7 they're like, yeah, no, we're doing practical effects. Like I know you guys have seen the first trailer, or the trailer that came out, the first one. And it's got that new little R2D2 looking droid that looks like a fucking R2D2 head slapped to
That's
a
a real one.
basketball.
Which is really weird, by the way.
It is a little weird, but I was
It's a
like,
real
okay,
thing.
it's a piece. Right, yeah, but then I'm like, it's practical. It's actually a practical piece. It's not like some CG'd thing that I originally thought that it was. And I'm like, that's awesome. In this video, they show even more. They're like, here's all the costumes that are all practical. They like show like an alien head that's actually like an animatronic face, but it's actually like wired to a computer, and a guy's wearing like a face scanning device with all the little dots on his face. So whenever he
Oh, yeah,
talks,
the,
it immediately sends it to the animatronic thing, and it makes the exact same motions.
Yeah, it's a motion capture thing they put onto an actual animatronic.
Right, but they're doing it like all like live. Like it's not like done in post. It's all just like boom.
Right, like all films used to be made.
Yes.
There is some awesome
well,
stuff
they
that's
couldn't do it
coming
to
with
that
so
level, but
Right, that's where.
I'm gonna kind of counter argue that a little bit, and I don't think it's specifically that they did it in 3D. It's nice when you have the physical thing there, but there are some things where 3D it in does fit. And it's perfectly fine. I think the issue comes in the use of 3D, where people
Yeah.
rely on it too much.
yeah, and that's what
kinda
they
like
did.
the fight with Yoda.
Right.
Oh
It's
my
really
God.
cool looking, but that's all it
I'm
was.
also like, why is this little fucking Muppet dancing around? Like, what's
Why does he
happening?
have a cane?
It actually made me a little sad when I saw that. It was cool, but part of me was like, this doesn't feel right. Because to me, that's not how Yoda would fight.
Yeah, that's all you, Mark.
To me, Yoda would not do all that jumping and spinning around and shit like that.
No, he's a force master. It
Just
should
push
have
things.
been. It should have been more like it. I mean, and they kind of did it in episode 3, where he wasn't jumping around as much. He was
just
just
pushed
fucking
something.
force pushing and throwing everything that wasn't nailed down. And
Yeah.
if it was
Well,
nailed
it's like-
down, he was ripping out the nails and throwing those too.
I mean, on
Yeah.
the same thing though, it's not necessarily our right to decide what he does and doesn't do.
Yes,
No,
it is.
it's
Fuck you,
just
George
they,
Lucas. We're
they
right.
have the thing is with storytelling and stuff like that. You build a character, just like a world, and you can build whatever the fuck you want. Although one of the rules in storytelling
Is
is
to
you don't
be-
break your own rules.
Right, be consistent
That's
with
it.
the rules that you set out to be.
And
You set
and
out
the
to
character
put in
had
place.
kind of built his own character personality, and I kind of get the like, hey, you don't expect this guy to do this, so why don't we have him do it?
Maybe it was supposed to be like this wow factor, but I understand that with all the CG that they wanted to do, like he had wanted to have the technology to do all the stuff that he did and all these special revisions that he did, and I think he just maybe went a little crazy with it. in the
Special
newer
revisions
ones.
like having Han shoot second.
Right. Okay. Well,
fuck that.
Let's put
That
that
didn't
aside.
happen.
We're all bitter
There's
still.
a few things
We
in
know.
there.
But yeah,
Well,
and it changes up what you expect and how everything comes together.
Well, even like I said, in this new one too, like if you watch the new video that just came out, they like literally show you, like, okay, yeah, we made a practical Millennium Falcon.
Which seems freaking awesome.
It's like that's it. It's like I like that's it's like it's
made
not
of
just a
wood or
sound
something, right?
stage. It's but like if you look at it, I mean, because of course the
Well, of
set
course, I mean,
guys
it looks
did-
great because it's a set.
Did
thing,
an
but it's,
amazing
like,
job,
almost
yeah.
made of wood, which I thought was interesting.
It's like
'cause it was,
metal
like,
and
lightweight.
They make it of whatever they need to make it of.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just thought it was cool.
Oh yeah. No, it's pretty darn cool they do that. Like Jurassic Park, I was really excited to see that fucking dinosaur was real.
yeah.
From a kid.
Right.
But also
Yeah, shit like that. Same thing with Star Wars.
yeah, well, also too, I remember when episodes 1, 2, and 3 started. I remember they were talking like the big deal was they were doing these all on these special like digital cameras. Like that was a big driving point that they were really trying to like nail down. It's like, oh, we're using these special digital cameras, blah blah blah.
For
blah, blah.
this one or the old ones?
No, for 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, really?
7, they're using film. Like
They're bringing it back, and so JJ's trying to do something crazy with it.
like I mean, don't get me wrong, even film itself has evolved a long way from back then. With
There's
the
no movie
quality you
without
can
special effects anymore.
right. Well, basically nowadays it's recorded on film and then transferred to digital, but
Which is
Like,
fine. I
did
mean,
you guys know
as long as it
the-
keeps the same effects to it, right?
it does.
Boom. I don't know enough about film editing and stuff to do.
That was funny.
Right? Kabloom.
But it's gonna give that feel, and like in the trailer so far, it's kind of like had that. And I'm like, okay, like it looks like.
Right.
I don't know, it reminds me of like kind of the original. And it doesn't hurt that. Okay, like, I don't know if like it's one of those things where you can say, okay, George Lucas has just been doing this so long that he's either just like cynical or he's tired of it.
Right.
But like it's kind of cool having like J.J. Abrams working on it, who's like, I want to do this not only because I'm going to make so much money, I'm not going to know what to do with it,
Which I'm sure that's part of it, mind you.
which is absolutely part of it. But like it's also to be like, dude, I'm going to make the new Star Wars. Like that level of excitement of like this is
Yeah, all the people that are working on it now probably grew up as fans
of the.
Yeah.
Star Wars,
I know Simon
or
Pegg's
worked
part of
on the
that too,
original.
right? Like even he's in it.
yeah. Well, there's
that video,
Carrie
right?
Fisher's in it.
Of course.
All
the legends, quote unquote.
basically. Actually, I don't think Billy D. Williams is in it.
Billy D. Williams, Lando's not having a part of it. I'm
Dude,
sure he'll
he's-
get at least mentioned.
Mr. Calrissian.
He's way too busy drinking his Colt 45.
He works every time.
It works every time. But I don't know. It looks great. And watch the video. It's cool. They talk about it. One of the new actors is like, he's like, this is amazing. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm surrounded by all these legends. And I'm also with all these people that themselves are, are hoping to become legends themselves in what's probably considered, one of the most influential film series in history.
For sure.
So-
And hopefully that doesn't disappoint us. Like it's all been building up, and I really want it to be good.
Yeah, well, I've got a friend out here in Chicago named Kevin. He's a great guy. He's a huge Star Wars fan, and we hung out. And I was like, "Oh man, you had to have seen the new like behind the scenes trailer they did for this." And he's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I'm like, Star Wars Episode 7. He's like, "Nah, there was only Star Wars 4, 5, and 6." I'm like, "What?"
Right.
He's like, "Yep, those are the only ones." I'm like,
Oh.
There's other ones coming." He's like, "Nope, only 4, 5." Then it clicked. I'm like, okay. He's like.
right.
Because he was like,
Yeah.
if
Jar Jar killed it for everyone.
Right.
He's like,
and he didn't, right?
if for whatever reason they decided to make like prequels for episode 4, 5, and 6, and they didn't happen to like live up to the standards, I would be a little afraid that I would get hurt again if they decided to go, past episode 6. I'm like, you're really going pretty far away to go for this joke, but like, okay, I respect it.
That. And some people have the right to be cynical. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be, but I still have a hope in this world that it won't be fucking horrible.
I do, but I'm also like wondering how I'm gonna feel going into this movie. 'Cause
I'm gonna enjoy
I'll
the
be
fuck
there
out of it.
opening day. Like,
I
there's
mean,
no question
sure,
about it.
will be, but
But,
also
I'm
like-
gonna be watching it like I watched Jurassic Park, where I walked in, I had no expectations
That's
other
exactly
than
what I was
like
about to
this
say.
one thing. I want to see dinosaurs eat things.
that's what I did.
In Star Wars, I'm gonna be like, I want to walk in. I'm gonna be like, I just want to see lightsabers.
I want to see some
Or
lightsabers. I want to
something
see
like
some space battles, and there we go. And if
See,
it happens to be this amazing new thing, then great. If it doesn't, well, whatever.
I know that's how I need to go into that film, but I also know I'm going to have a really hard time going into that film with no expectations. Like,
That's true. I mean, it is Star Wars. If there was going to be one that we were going to have problems with, that it would be the one.
it's exactly like, it's one of those things where I'm like,
Watch all the previews then.
am I?
Right,
I
exactly.
have.
Well, I mean,
I've been
ultimately,
watching all
of them.
previews are for building hype, right? But I mean,
Right.
God, you know one thing that really annoys me about previews is when they give away part of the movie in the preview.
in the preview, yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know that's part of the end. God damn it.
I
Yeah,
don't think
but
that's
I
happened
feel
yet.
like with Star Wars, they haven't, because I have no fucking
good.
clue what
What's
the plot
going
of
on.
this film is right
Fuck
now.
do I know? I don't know either.
Like, they've done a great job of just keeping me in the dark.
Which I want to be. I want to be surprised.
Which is probably a
if
good
there
thing.
is. Like, I wonder if they'll be able to try to relive the moment, like the moment where, like, oh, I'm your father, Luke, has been one of those ones where everyone was like, oh,
Yeah, it's that iconic moment.
super
There was a
closely.
secret even from most of the actors.
Exactly. In the original script, it was said that Obi-Wan was the killer of him and not him, and they changed it like during the scene. He was like, "Actually, you're his father. Say it." He was like, "Oh."
Apparently the actor didn't say it at all. It was because they recorded James Earl Jones later, so the Darth Vader actor, whatever the fuck his name was.
I feel so bad, too,
if
that I
it's
never
my
read
notes,
that
that
guy's
guy's-
name.
You never
I
never
feel
know who the
so
fuck he is.
bad.
He's just behind the mask.
Light level 1 or above. Ha! Nobody's gonna use that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna real
I'm
greed.
gonna
on-
agree to that bitch then. It's money.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said Obi-Wan's your father, but he told Mark Hamill it's like this is the actual line that is gonna be said
right.
afterwards. So Mark Hamill and like a handful of other people and James Earl Jones were the only ones who knew what the fuck were going on. So he could
Well, that's a
react.
boss. That's a boss, Sharon.
correct.
Well,
Okay,
oh,
we're
Jesus.
going into the boss.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Do it,
here we
dude.
go.
Kill the fish, dude.
YOLO.
I got you healing. It's good. So I wonder
got
if they'll be able to
fucking
do
rage.
that. I mean, nowadays it'd be really hard to emulate something like that, especially in how the digital age is.
Well,
You gotta
it's
also think
keeping
there's so
anything
many
a
more
secret
movies
like
now. Oh, it's fucking Akbar.
Yeah,
It is Akbar.
It's a
keeping
fact.
anything a
Fucking
secret like
Akbar.
that though nowadays is fucking impossible, man.
Exactly. Just
Dude,
based
this
on
guy's
the
actually got a
times.
hell of a chin on him.
Yeah, it does. I'm trying to heal you as opposed to
He
damage.
was
so.
prepared for our trap.
He decided to go
What the fuck
balls
are
to the
these,
wall.
Oh my god, fucking flamethrowers everywhere, dude. Jesus Christ.
What are these
Stay better than
these his?
flamethrowers. But I really want the new movie to be good. I want there to be like I don't mind special effects in the sense of like enhancement.
Oh
If
yeah,
that makes
like,
sense.
Oh yeah.
and as much as I was talking about how excited I am that they're going to be using practical effects and all this other shit, like, there's nothing wrong with those effects. Like, you need those effects. Like, I'll give you a hint. Those laser blasts in the original Star Wars coming from X-Wing, they
Still-
weren't real.
What?
Like, I know.
You're a liar, John.
I'm giving it away. Breaking the fourth wall right there. Sorry. But,
Oh,
like...
dude, we could have revived you after the end of it. Whatever.
Oh shit!
dude,
Didn't know that.
it's gonna be-
Newbie.
It's
Is it gonna be
okay.
tough?
God, Jerry, such a noob. Also, you have
Um,
med packs, John. You want to use one? 'Cause
What's up?
I'm running low on the force because you probably have a med pack somewhere. You might want to use it.
Just use it.
Sweet.
We should have it, though, at this point.
Yeah, we're good.
Boom,
Shit,
bitch!
bam.
It's a snap.
All right, hang on. Wait for him.
We'll wait
before
for
you
Charity
leave.
picked it up, yeah. But, like, yeah, you need those special
Making
effects.
my
And, like,
way.
it's going to make it cool. But clearly in 1, 2, and 3, you just wanted to be like, look at this cool shit that I can do. And that's all those movies were kind of, look at this cool shit that I can do. And
Yeah,
nothing.
right.
There's no substance.
Ooh,
Done.
That's
Those
for
are mine.
you.
Black Juggernaut.
So, it's,
That
I don't
movie's
know,
gonna
man.
be-
I'm beyond just stoked.
I'm
And
ready
it's,
for it.
For me, too, and I always, like, have these, like, weird moments. And it really, of course, happened in these
You
trailers.
do have a lot of weird moments.
I do. I fucking live for them.
You know it's okay. They made it legal about last week.
Thanks, Supreme Court.
Anytime, gay community.
So it's, but no, like for me, like the soundtrack of Star Wars is like.
It's always Is John Williams coming back for this one? By the way, we know that. I
That's
would
actually
hope
a
so.
question.
Who the
I
fuck
don't.
shoot me?
I don't know actually either. So like even in the trailers where like they're playing it and you get like that any of the classic themes going in the background, like you said earlier, you just get that. I get that wide-eyed, childish like wonderment.
Of the whole thing. Wonderment. It's a trademark word, technical term.
Look, I don't know. It's a good word in my head. You know, because it fucking happens in this game. Like every once in a while, like a big fight comes, or actually, when I remember when I bought this, and I played it at launch.
Oh, there's the control.
The first day or two, you know, on my consular, I made my lightsaber, and like the whole scene was just so well done. Like the music was perfect, you know, all of it, and
Like,
I was just
I
like,
did
oh,
it.
dude, it was like, I'm like, oh my god, like this is fucking Star Wars. Like this is perfect. This is and it was cool. And it just gave
I
me
think
that
music
moment.
has a lot to do with the feel of whatever it is. Like shit, and I keep bringing it back to Jurassic Park for that. Not going to give anything away for anybody, but I think you both know what I'm talking about. The one scene.
No, I
where
haven't
the
seen
music
it.
starts.
I'll save you right here now.
It's the door opening, and you're just like,
Oh, right, exactly.
Oh, we're talking the original?
pants.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were talking the new one for a second. Haven't seen the
New
new
one,
one yet.
Yeah, it is the new one, but
Oh, I haven't seen
yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you
Well,
probably
I didn't
should.
give anything away for you, but fucking see it.
Yeah,
Come on.
I
Damn it, John.
am
It was cool.
super broke, okay? All money
right.
right now is reserved for Gen Con.
All right, Mark,
I know what you're talking about.
just let him enjoy it. All right.
I will.
We just talked about this ruining movies.
Yeah.
My, jeez.
God damn it, Mark.
All right.
But that's like the
Ruined
case,
fun.
too. I mean, like I said, music is always a huge part and stuff
Hey,
like that. Like,
A friend of mine who's a big movie buff once told me about Star Wars. That actually a lot of like the critics and people who were producing it and all that stuff, who were like in charge of the money for making the movie, fucking hated it before the music was put in.
really?
Oh, yeah.
That's an interesting idea.
I can imagine.
And that totally makes sense because I mean it does take it a long way. It goes a long
Well,
way.
like, it doesn't matter what it
You gotta
is.
go to
Like,
this
well,
robot
let's
over
talk about WoW for a second again. And I
Wow.
remember a long time ago, Mark, when we went to what was it, a Video Games Live concert or whatever
Yeah.
they had at the Fox, which was fucking cool. But I remember it was the same situation. It's like when certain pieces of music, and WoW was a really big one for me. We're like hearing it in that like orchestra sense live and all that stuff. Like it
It's a big deal, right?
It brings out emotions, like whether it's like nostalgia or just like
Give me the
you're
goosies.
like, oh my god, like this was I remember this. This was when blah blah all this stuff happened and
When Obi-Wan died.
Exactly.
uh,
Ben.
s-
Yeah, spoiler. From how many years
Crazy
ago was
old
that? In the
Ben.
70s?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's past the spoiler limit.
30, 45-ish years ago, probably more than that.
Oh fuck yeah, another big droid.
Shit.
Oh, hey, boss time.
Going for it.
All right, cool. I didn't engage first.
Yeah,
You yell at.
I can do my job this time.
50
Oh, dude,
DKP minus.
you fucking punched me in the mouth. But yeah, I don't know. And like every trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens so far has been that way for me. Where I'm just like, oh god, I know that's that it just draws me in every time and I'm just like,
That
you
big.
sons of bitches, you know exactly what I want.
Right.
Oh, thanks for the heals.
Yeah, no problem.
I do get better attacks that I'll start pulling aggro better, because Sherry's just pulling all the aggro.
He's doing all the damage,
All the
man.
damage.
Hold
All right,
up, I
time to
got you.
leave for a
I got
second.
you.
Yeah, hide behind this. Hopefully it works. I don't know if it works.
So, yeah.
It
Oh,
does for a
fuck.
second, but he'll follow you.
All right, cool.
Just keep line of
on.
sighting.
It should be good.
Yeah, we should be good. I got you.
Oh.
Kick the shit out of him now.
Yeah, I think he's on.
Now he's on me.
Mark.
Bam.
Yeah, I'm a bad tank. Ooh.
Yeah, there you go, John. Be a better tank.
Well, that
I'll
might
take
be a
those
better
boots,
tank.
though.
What
I'll
is that?
greed the
Oh, yeah, I don't
shield
do those.
generator.
Shh. Put those.
What is the Juggernaut shield? Oh, it's a shield. Oh, you can fucking have that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can't
can
even
use
use it.
Boots, light ever fucking have it.
I can use it.
I'm so angry. I'm gonna heal.
Yeah, no,
But yeah.
it's been
So
a
Star
good
Wars.
To the health.
It's
Day
been a
one.
good year
Now.
for Star Wars as a whole, I think, because like this thing had in the coming months, this one will have another expansion coming out. The new Battlefront's going to come out, and the new movie's going to come out. Like this is going to be a big year for because I mean the last couple of years, how many things have come out when you've been like, oh fuck yeah, Star Wars, like nothing, right?
Star Wars LCG.
Okay, great. And we haven't played that in how long?
X-wing.
Outside of Star Wars, you mean? or just Star Wars.
Like,
Because
as a whole.
There's been a shitload of Marvel and
That's true.
starting to come up DC stuff.
right.
It's like
I mean, like Star Wars in particular. Like this is supposed to be a good year for that. I think. And then the new game. Wait, is that dude in the ceiling? That guy's in the ceiling. Oh, he's dead. Never mind.
Problem,
he's not
problem
dead yet.
solved. Ceiling
Alright,
people
dead.
killed.
Ceiling ninjas. Goddamn
They're the-
John, every fucking
every
game.
everything I do, man. Everything I do.
Always goddamn ceiling ninjas.
So here's my segue now. So
I'm ready
with
for it.
Those are
Star
cool
Wars
vehicles, by the way.
Battlefront, which you
Yeah.
mentioned. So apparently, a big, very large plot point in the new movie is there
Battle of
is the-
Jakku, right?
the Battle of Jakku, which like all we know is that it was a large scale battle that happened over the planet Jakku after the Death Star 2 was destroyed.
No, Juku.
And
Jakku,
like
yeah.
it's apparently going to get
Excuse me?
mentions pretty commonly, and like it takes place in a lot of big things. But what's kind of cool is what they're doing with Battlefront is a couple weeks after Battlefront comes out, there's a DLC that lets you play the Battle of Jakku. And that's kind of how you're supposed to get like your little introduction into it before the movie comes out.
Right, like they're mixing the game in the movie together.
Like kind of a tie-in thing, which is like pretty damn cool. Like,
I mean, it can't be too much of a thing though, right? Like if they're, because like people who don't play the game, I know there's a lot of people who are young when Star Wars came out in the beginning, like who aren't gonna come play it.
The way I understand it, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be like mentioned a lot, and you'll probably see a lot of or a lot of like flashbacks or like talking about it,
being mentioned and all that stuff.
Right, but you might not
every 3-second flashback.
Dude,
remember back when the battle
1,000 years, 1,000 stare, 1,000 yard stare. Fuck.
1,000 years.
He has 1,000 year stare.
1,000 years. He's actually
another 100 he
petrified.
might.
Yoda had it.
That's after Yoda died.
It was
1,000 years.
So but it's kind of a cool little tie-in. Like it's going to give you probably just a little bit more depth than you would, more than you actually need. You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn, Force Lightning.
It's just I do that a lot in this game.
Get it?
I'm pretty sure we're about to kill
why
some
would you not?
innocent people.
We're gonna murder that Jedi.
That is a Jedi. Look at that.
Oh,
she's a Padawan. No one cares about her.
Order.
Oh yeah, no brainer.
You know my answer.
Surely you're joking. I'm going to kill you, lady.
Not of you. She points at the other one of us. But of you, that maybe.
Maybe I will. Wow, she's got a hell of a chin on her for being a Padawan. Ow.
Yeah, man, Jedi's a Jedi, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I just yell at you.
Oh, Star Wars RPG, Mark. There's another one for your list of things that's
okay. All right, fine. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to say, but because you're right.
No. But you're talking from like a very niche standpoint of tabletop gamers.
True. And also, that was fucking sweet. That Star Wars RPG.
Dude, Star Wars RPG is awesome. Force and Destiny comes out of Gen Con. Just saying.
Sweet.
Does not let me move.
So I think we need to get out of that. Are those swirling blades bad? I'm assuming they're bad.
It's probably a good.
All right, cool.
Good
Yeah, it's a giant
Oh,
alien.
whoa, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, you got wrecked.
I did get wrecked.
You had a long time to get out, John.
That's why I got her.
Do you? Because I'm still getting smoked in the face.
Look, I'm working on it, dude. I don't do the damage I should be doing.
Ow.
Remember to target.
Get out of the thing.
All right, time to slowly walk
Right, no
away.
kidding.
Like, just
This Padawan's
just
pretty ballin'.
casually walk away.
Cyclone Nova seems like a pretty good ability. Just saying.
All right, does that work? Nope, that doesn't work. Okay.
Bitch, go for me. Oh man, train of thought now.
Yeah, I know. We're in a boss.
Woo, woo,
Sorry,
derail.
boss fight. Oh no, time to go.
I'm just like walk away. How come the
'cause
soldiers?
There's no animation for trying to run slowly. It's just walk away.
It's funny. The soldiers are back there watching this chick get her shit pushed in by 4 people.
Dude, I don't know. If you're like a Jedi and you're watching, like, oh, our Jedi's losing. You don't think I'm gonna fuck with that?
Right, but I mean, if you would have helped us from the beginning, right? I mean, good lord.
Stop.
Come on,
Yeah,
bitch.
it's pretty
Why
good.
you
I
gotta
think
jump
we're
3
gonna
times?
win, but
We actually
I think we got her.
Boom.
She's a good Padawan, though. That's good. All right, well played, lady.
Ooh.
Had a dead.
Oh, corrupted focus lightsaber.
Hey, there we go.
That's good for Mark's
endurance,
willpower.
Sweet. Actually, both of those
Actually,
are
both
good.
those are yours. There you go, Mark. Enjoy.
Fucking A.
Cool. I trust both of your wisdoms upon this object and its properties.
Willpower goes to Force users. That's Mark.
I'll sit down.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Channel some hatred.
There
Oh,
we
man.
go. Level 11 lightsaber.
But so here's a question then. So talking about the Jakku thing, which I think is a really
Bless
cool
you.
idea. So they did announce though that, like I said, it comes out a little bit later, but it's free if you reserve the game. I don't
Right.
believe it is free if you don't reserve the game.
Boo.
Like,
So here we go into the free-to-play stuff.
well, this is. I mean, it's not free to play though. I mean, it's.
Well,
it's
kind of.
Well, no,
play.
it's
So you pay for the game, and then that becomes, in my mind, kind of a paid attachment.
It's
I mean, it's
DLC,
DLC.
basically.
It's DLC, period.
expansion, map, ad, whatever you want to call it. So here's the thing: is how long have games been $60?
Well, it's been a minute. Actually, it
For
changed
a
when the 360
fucking
came
long
out.
time.
Yeah, the Xbox 360
So it's like
is when it started
2004.
at $60. Yes. So yeah,
Or
a little over 10
2000,
years.
whenever that came here.
Yeah, and games have not been the same price
Longer than that,
since
actually.
that long ago.
Right,
They
because
cost a hell of a lot more.
all the
And
DLC is
they
made
give
them-
you more stuff now. And so what they do is they have to make an incentive, and they have to kind of, in my mind, it's smart to do this because they get to appease the people that don't really give a shit about that extra mission, and they don't want to pay for it. Cool. If you really give a shit about the mission, then you'll pay for it.
Well, if you give a shit the mission, you're just going to reserve the game. You're
Right.
putting $5 down that's going to come off your price tag anyways. Like that's
Yeah,
because that's how I
They're-
look
They're
at it.
making sure people are going to get it. Well, for them, it's a smart move if they get for reserving the game because your opener is really, really important because you got to pay people.
Right. Well, they want that money up front.
Right, and also the fact that they can sucker people in. Like, if the game's bad, though, there's the whole thing about reserving games and
Yeah.
for extra stuff that always hasn't sit pretty with me, to be honest. I mean, it's good in a sense that you can kind of get extra stuff if you know you're going to play the game, but if people who are on the fence about it, it's like, in a way, in one hand, it's kind of underhanded if the game's not really, it's kind of lackluster, but on the other, it's also up to people who reserve games to take control of their own money. Like, they blame developers all the time, but at the same time, it's your money. Don't do it. Stop getting suckered into it if you don't like it.
Well,
that's
also the weird thing about the DLC money and stuff like that, how much they cost, is for a game. You expect everybody expects $60.
Right.
For a DLC, you ask somebody, what does the DLC cost? They go, well, what's in it?
Yeah, it very much is content pending.
True.
It's in
And
my head too.
There's not a set in stone number, and I feel like that's kind of a good and can be bad thing. But it is kind of on a whole a good thing.
Right, I think so. I like the sense of DLC. Like, you have a game, it comes out with DLC, and it gives you a reason to come back and play something that you really, really like. On the other hand, if you are paying so much for that DLC, I know, like, some games, have had a ridiculously high price tag. I think Call of Duties have been kind of culprits of this, where you're almost paying for another
Ridiculous.
game. The price of another game. I think the season pass is like $50
Yes, it was.
to like
For the
get all
last
the
one that
DLC.
came out.
Right. It was for like the season pass 2 or something like that, or I don't remember all of it, but it was a lot of money, and it's kind of crazy how much you have to pay for it. It's like you're buying another game all over again. Like, why would you do that?
Right.
But then that's the consumer's power is
To
pay
not do
for
it.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And I didn't. Like,
Me
I really
neither.
I really enjoyed Advanced Warfare. I had a lot of fun with it. We played it a bunch when it first came out.
Yeah, we
Call
did.
it Modern Ghost Recon Warfare.
I don't know if I'll get the next one, but it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get the next one either. Yeah. Well, actually, I know I won't get the next one because I'll have Star Wars Battlefront.
Right. Exactly. Right.
We've already been over in a previous video about how my November's going to be pretty packed already.
Mm-hmm.
But it is in the consumer thing, and actually, like, I actually don't care. Like, for that, I'm actually perfectly fine with it, you know. But I'm also at the standpoint of, like, I'm going to buy this game. I'm not going to wait for this game.
Same,
If I buy
right.
this game and it sucks, it's my own fault.
And that's one of those
I don't think
things
that's going to happen because
Right. It's
there's
made
already,
by DICE, who has a long history of making the Battlefield games, and they've made them overall pretty well. I just don't want it to come out with all the bugs that like 4 had, but hopefully they'll learn their lesson.
Well, apparently they did. They say that I didn't play Hardline, play the beta, but Hardline apparently did not have all those bugs that everyone expected it to have because of Battlefield 4.
And I actually heard Hardline was pretty good, considering how much interest I didn't really have in it.
Yeah, right. Which is why I still haven't bought it, of course.
Right. At this point, it's too late. I'm not going to. But I heard it was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah. Oh, the
Yeah.
Battlefront.
But this is the thing about the kind of freemium versions and stuff like that that I really like about this day and age is that I'm cheap.
Exactly. Money's not.
Like this game, it's free right now. I'm playing the free account. If it's something to where I feel like I get my money's worth out of it, yeah, I might spend some money in it.
I would
I
love.
don't really expect that in this one. But shit like Hearthstone, I played so much of Hearthstone because it fits how what I want to play and how I want to play so well, and I've had so much fun with it. I just spent some money in it. But I basically got a really super long extended trial, in my opinion. And if I didn't like
True.
it, then cool, I just got to play a game.
That's fair. That is fair. And there's a difference. There's something to be said in freemium games that are like full releases, like something like this or Hearthstone, and the difference between a crappy mobile app that happens. I feel like
Looking you,
that you're
Candy
paying
Crush.
for something and where you have to wait, like that version of freemium stuff. Like, oh, you could wait this amount of time for this to happen, or if you want to pay money, you can have it done right now. Like, that's the bad versions of freemium things.
The phone app and game stuff, that's a whole different
That's a
market.
whole nother
and
market.
I tried to make apps for that, and it is so flooded.
It is.
And it's really, I found there's a split between...
Everybody wants to be the next
and there's a
Angry
mix of it, but it's very much people that want to make money and people that want to make games.
Two different
people. That
people.
want to make games usually don't show up in the app market.
Oh.
They don't have enough money, or they don't make enough revenue in the most place.
Oh shit,
Everybody's dead. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
dude,
Why
that
do you
droid
have to
killer,
do it?
that'd be actually pretty badass.
Yeah, then the ones that make that make money are the ones that dump everything into advertising and get you to get in the game. Like, oh shit, what is it? Game of War? I see goddamn
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
I just see like, oh, Game of War, tits. I'm like, well, what's the game? Tits. Like,
Hey,
okay,
man, tits
I
out.
don't want this game then,
Yep.
because if all you can show me is just the tits, not the gameplay, I'll pass.
You better tell me what happened, or I'm going to be very unhappy.
So, phone stuff, I got out of that on making the games for that, because it's just so flooded, it's so difficult to be seen. There's a lot of shit out there, and it's just kind of a money sink. Paid phone apps really aren't a thing anymore, because there's so many free ones.
Right, they do often
it's
the
kind
same
of forced
thing,
all
right?
of them to be free. You wouldn't believe how many people, when I released Zombie Playdate, which is not even available anymore, I didn't even keep it up and going, I went up to people and I'm like, it's 99 cents. That's it. 99 cents. And you're surprised how many people just like
Get turned
arrive
away
at that
from
and
that.
like, oh my god, it's 99 cents.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you just bought a $60 Call of Duty game and a $5 Starbucks drink. Which really doesn't mix with personalities, but whatever.
Right. That's how I often base like what I want to play. It's like if something's $5 for something, I'd be like, do I want this sandwich or do I want this thing? I do that a whole lot
By all means, go ahead.
when I'm doing like Steam sale stuff. Like this game's $5. Well, I could get something else.
Yeah. Instead of buying like a $60 game, a lot of Steam sales, I'll buy a shitload of like 5 and under games that look decent, look okay, or had some good reviews. I'm like, cool, let's try it out. Sometimes they have a nice, interesting part to them.
Right. So that's it. And how that translates back to DLC. And I hope that they can keep the market on a point where it's affordable still, and it doesn't go to $50 like it already has. I hope that they have done the market research on that and realized that it failed, and hopefully bring it back down to a more reasonable level. Because nothing sucks more when you pay a lot of money for a DLC and don't get a whole lot of content out of it, and then you're just like, well, shit.
And that was my issue
Well,
with the
there
Call
it
of Duty
goes.
ones. Like,
Exactly.
I was like, okay, cool. I get 2 maps, 2 multiplayer maps, a zombie map, and a gun.
Spread the word of my success.
Why
Is that
it's-
worth like $15 to me? Like,
No.
no, it's really not. You know, like I can still play this game and do my
Yeah.
thing, but like it was, it's I know we've derailed a little bit from Star Wars here, but Halo 5 just did an announcement where they're like, all of the DLC maps coming out free. I was like,
Which would be
wow,
awesome.
that's freaking sweet. That means that I'm gonna have to pay for something else. Clearly, you know,
In some way.
in some way. But I also understand where I was sitting there, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, the reason they're doing this is pretty simple. They don't want to have to worry about weird fucking matchmaking. It's got to be a pain in the ass to be like,
You
okay,
have this DLC, but
this
you don't
guy-
have this DLC.
exactly. He's got a DLC 1 and 3, but not 2, so he can only play with people that have 1 and 3 and not 2 and the base, and then they can. Well, then we have to put him in
Base,
here.
base.
Like, no, like fuck that. Like that's got to be like the biggest pain in the ass, and it's a great way. And it
Look at jacuzzi.
it's one of those things too where it's like, okay, clearly 343 gets to like, look how great we are. We're not going to charge you for our DLC
See, right.
because
That's-
really deep down it's probably a big pain in the ass for us to work with it. But where are we going by
By the way, it was going to
drum
drum and
cast,
cuss.
yes.
Cool.
But at the same time, I'm like, that's cool. I understand. Yeah, that was a really dramatic button press.
Bam!
I'm glad you
Had to
rolled high
roll
for
the
that.
die to be able to go,
I got some social points for it too. But
fuck you.
yeah, that's also why I liked the like Mass Effect and the Dragon Age DLC, where they were just like, all your multiplayer stuff's free. Take it.
Here you go. Yeah,
Gun.
take it.
That's
Done.
awesome. And that's why I don't mind. I'll probably do the same. I'm probably gonna pre-order. If you're moving back to Star Wars, I'm probably gonna pre-order the Battlefront game anyway, just to get it.
Oh yeah,
'cause
that's
I'm still gonna wanna
absolutely
play it.
happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
still
gonna
gonna be
I'm gonna
cool.
pre-order too.
And I'll still get enough out of it. So, oh boys, that also concludes the Flashpoint here. So we'll have to wrap up, I believe.
I would say that we're heroes, but we're clearly not.
We're
heroes
not.
by our
We,
choices.
nobody
Oh,
comes
oh,
out.
oh.
I'm like, we're fucking
Oh.
heroes.
Nobody. Everyone's dead but us.
We're awful.
That makes me
Oops.
make me feel like a hero when I murder everyone.
Totally. Apparently, my companion really liked it.
I'm a hero to
Hey.
the Sith.
I
Let me
finished
just
my
sit
quest.
down on you here.
And level up.
Oh, there we go.
But that was our one flashpoint
Broken.
there. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Guess we'll be signing off now. Anybody else have anything else to say? We want to say before?
Buy Star Wars
Yeah.
Battlefront.
I probably will. I think there's going to be more than enough people. We don't need to tell them that.
No.
I just want to say, when you sit this way and you zoom in, you turn around. Fucking magician.
Whoa, you disappear. Jesus. All right. Well, thank you, Sherry, for
Out.
joining us in this. Maybe we'll do another flashpoint later. Maybe we won't. I don't know. It's up to you. But
Depending on my wife's attitude towards it.
I was like, choose
See.
your words carefully here.
choose your right.
Your wife.
Hope- just
She's
listen
not
to
going to
this,
listen to this.
I can change
Honey,
that.
right?
If you're
All right, we
listening to
we
this-
know your wife. We can change this.
Honey, if you're listening to this, you're an asshole.
Ooh.
She'll let me know that if she hears it.
All right. Well, all right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Adios.
See ya.